We spend decades bracing for a winter that never seems to arrive, fearing the loss of our strength and the fading of our relevance. But at 79, I discovered that the weight we carry isn't from the years themselves. It is the heavy, outdated map we use to navigate them. For a long time, I lived in a state of quiet, persistent anticipation. It wasn't the kind of anticipation one feels before a holiday or a family visit. It was a heavy, shadowed expectation of what I thought aging was supposed to be. Like many of my peers, I was pre-grieving my own life. I found myself looking at my garden, and instead of seeing the roses, I saw the day I would no longer be able to prune them. I looked at my stairs and didn't see a path to my bedroom, but a future obstacle that would eventually defeat me. We are taught to view the horizon of our 70s and 80s as a series of closing doors, and so we begin to live as if they are already shut. This psychological burden is exhausting. It creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where we limit our world before the world actually limits us. We stop planning, we stop reaching, and we begin to inhabit a smaller version of our lives, all because we are waiting for a decline that we have been told is mandatory. We carry the weight of tomorrow's potential frailty, forgetting that today our legs still carry us and our minds still crave the light of a new idea. The shift happened on a Tuesday, a day as unremarkable as any other, until the map I had been following simply broke. I had spent the morning trying to fix a leaking faucet, moving with the frantic, hurried energy of the man I was 30 years ago. I was angry at my stiff fingers and impatient with my slower pace. I was measuring my success against a ghost, the version of myself that didn't need reading glasses or a moment to catch his breath. In that moment of frustration, I sat down on the kitchen floor and realized that the map I was using to navigate my 79th year was drawn for a territory I no longer inhabited. I was trying to live a young man's day and failing, which made me feel old. But when I stopped fighting the clock, something strange happened. The silence of the kitchen became peaceful rather than lonely. The sunlight on the linoleum looked beautiful. I realized that the decline I feared was actually just a change in terrain. The struggle wasn't coming from my age. It was coming from my refusal to accept the new landscape. I decided then to stop trying to conquer my days and instead started to inhabit them. This led me to the secret that changed everything: the mastery of internal velocity. For most of our lives, we are rewarded for speed, efficiency, and the sheer volume of things we can accomplish. We are told that to be relevant is to be busy. But at 79, the secret is realizing that the value of a moment is not found in how quickly it passes, but in how deeply it is felt. I began to intentionally slow my internal rhythm to match my physical one. Instead of seeing a slow walk to the mailbox as a sign of weakness, I began to see it as a luxury. It became a 5-minute meditation, an opportunity to feel the air and hear the birds that I used to rush past. By shifting from a mindset of doing to a mindset of observing, the power dynamic of aging reversed. I was no longer a victim of a slowing body. I was the beneficiary of a refined perspective. This isn't about giving up. It's about upgrading the quality of our attention. When you move at the speed of life rather than the speed of expectation, you find that the world is much richer than you remembered. Part of this newfound clarity involved a deliberate shedding of what others expected of me. There is a peculiar social pressure on seniors to either age gracefully by becoming invisible or to defy aging by acting as if it isn't happening. Both are performances for the benefit of others. I realized I had spent years trying to reassure my children and my neighbors that I was still the same old me. But I am not the same. I am older, wiser, and far less interested in the frantic pace of the modern world. There is a profound dignity in saying no to external demands that no longer serve our spirit. I stopped attending events that exhausted me and stopped pretending I cared about trends that felt hollow. This wasn't an act of withdrawal, but an act of essentialism. By letting go of the need to prove my vitality through activity, I discovered a much deeper vitality in my stillness. We do not owe the world a performance of youth. We owe ourselves a reality of peace. As I navigate this final quarter of my life, the landscape looks remarkably different than I was led to believe. When you apply the secret of internal velocity and shed the weight of expectation, your relationships begin to soften. I no longer approach my adult children with a defensive posture, trying to prove I don't need their help. Instead, I approach them with open hands, offering the one thing I have in abundance: presence. When my grandson speaks, I am not thinking about my next task. I am entirely there, a calm harbor in his stormy world. My relationship with my own body has changed, too. It is no longer an adversary to be overcome, but a loyal companion that has traveled a long road. I treat it with the kindness one gives an old friend. This isn't a period of holding on to what is left. It is a period of taking in everything that is here. The fear of the future has been replaced by a deep, resonant gratitude for the immediate. In the end, I have come to see that we have defined legacy all wrong. We think of it as something we leave behind: money, property, or a name on a stone. But at 79, I see that legacy is something we radiate while we are still here. It is the quality of our existence. By finding this secret of peace and perspective, we become a quiet light for those who are currently terrified of the path we are walking. We show them that the winter they fear is actually a season of incredible harvest. This stage of life is not a closing door, but the most refined version of the human experience. It is the time when the noise finally fades, leaving only the music. I am 79 years old, and for the first time in my life, I am not looking back or looking forward. I am simply here, and that is more than enough.